I'm Dave Greenwood, and this is Overcoming Distractions. If you are an adult with ADHD, a busy professional, an entrepreneur, a high achiever, or just need some strategies to navigate your adult ADHD, you're in the right place. Who am I? I'm an entrepreneur with ADHD and the author of 2 books, Overcoming Distractions and Overcoming Burnout. I coach and mentor people just like you, and together we navigate the ups and downs of adult ADHD. From getting out of our own way to helping people just like you thrive in the workplace. That's what I do. Want more info on working with me? Hit overcomingdistractions.com. Ready? Let's get to today's podcast. All right, what is up, my fellow distracted friends? What is going on in the world of distractions, huh? All right, welcome back. Hey, let's lighten things up. I hope you're having a great week. I hope you've been able to chalk up a few wins and not constantly focus on the negative. Yes, we are busy adults with ADHD. Yes, we have family. We have all kinds of things. We have a yard to maintain. We have groceries to buy. We have all kinds of things. School meetings. We got a demanding job. We got a busy, growing business, hopefully. And we need to just come back to ourselves and realize that there are ways for us to thrive and be fulfilled and have a little bit of control over our days and not go home burned out, right? So if you are that busy adult with ADHD, you are everywhere from a CEO and everything in between. You're the sole proprietor. You are in the right place. It's Overcoming Distractions. All right. So real quick, I do a little bit of housekeeping. If you love what you listen to here and you have walked away and tried to implement something in your own personal or professional life, and you'd love to buy me a cup of coffee, I can tell you I am extremely grateful for that. I don't even speak to anybody in the house here without having my coffee. I live on coffee. And I drink a bunch of coffee before I have to go and crank out these podcast episodes. I live on coffee. So if you want to support the show in even a small way, you can hit buymeacoffee.com/overcomingd. buymeacoffee.com/overcomingd. If you are a busy professional with ADHD and you need to work with somebody one-on-one to just do some problem solving, work some things out, figure out your time and energy management, how to fit it all in, and everything in between. I'd love the chance to chat with you for a few minutes and see if we're a good fit. I work with many people all the way from the C-suite, again, everything in between, all type of busy professionals. So I'd love the chance to work with you and help you smooth things out. That's it. That's the housekeeping. That's my little pitch to you. So next, I believe, let's get to the heart of the matter today, because I believe that if you're going to thrive, being an adult with ADHD, busy job, demanding career, all those other types of responsibilities we just listed, we're gonna have to get a little real with ourselves. In other words, some regular doses of self-awareness. There can be big breakthroughs in understanding why we do certain things or why we don't do certain things. And many times it can be the little nuggets of information we uncover about ourselves when we just sit down and ask the right questions. Now, it was about a week or 2 ago, we did a podcast about the power of hitting the pause button and slowing down. And you can go back and find that podcast. It was a short podcast. We got right to the point. But this has to be part of our lives. I mean, whether it's planning your day, planning your week, whatever, planning out a vacation, all the things in between, or it's just sitting down and realizing, you know what? I can't operate like this anymore. I can't operate in this mode. And the only way I'm going to figure it out is if I hit that pause button. And when we do that, when we slow down, and I know that's a lot to ask of us sometimes, because sometimes I don't think we know how to do it. We start to uncover things. We uncover habits, traits, those energy levels. Did we get in the zone throughout the days and weeks? We have to ask ourselves the right questions. If we don't ask the right questions about ourselves and to ourselves, it just becomes more difficult to figure shit out and be fulfilled and thrive, because we just keep operating in that same mode. Sometimes we're challenged with the right questions, and that's why many people come to work with me and other people in this field, because in many cases, some of us don't know what to ask ourselves. And I think a good questioner can work with you to solve some of those challenges and frustrations. But I do think it makes sense to try and ask yourself some questions first, to try and sort some things out. So if you feel you need to make some movement in life, you need to change things up, whether it's a little bit or a lot, whether you resonate with what I just said about I can't operate in this mode any longer. Do you need to do what you need to do to be less stressed out, have meaningful productivity, do the things you want and be fulfilled? I have some questions that you can ask yourself as you start out this process of trying to figure out who you are, how you operate, and how you can best be fulfilled as that busy adult with ADHD. So we're going to be a little bit of the ADHD detective here for a few minutes. And again, this is where where some brutal honesty, I think, needs to take place when we ask ourselves some questions. I've talked to people, we've done podcasts about owning your ADHD, and whether you like that or not, we need to think like that. So now, big point here, please listen. This is not where you ask yourself why you are the way you are. This is not where you ask yourself, why am I a screw up? Why do I do these things? Why can't I do X, Y, and Z? In other words, you're not asking these questions to beat yourself up and make things worse. You're here to uncover some of the reasons why you operate the way you do, and to figure out how to make things better. And some days just turn into a train wreck. That's life sometimes. You can ask yourself a lot of questions, and some days just suck. And once again, those of us with ADHD don't own shitty days. So remember that. Everybody has shitty days. Questions and honesty are how we uncover areas we need to tweak or improve, or in some cases move that needle even slowly to make a bigger change. So grab a notepad and a pen and let's get to work.
Hey gang, Dave stepped out real quick to grab a cup of coffee, and if you know Dave, you know he doesn't even speak in the morning without a ton of coffee. So why don't you buy Dave his next cup of coffee? Go to buymeacoffee.com/overcomingd and get him that cup of coffee and support the show. Your support will help keep Dave awake and help keep those podcasts coming out on time. It's buymeacoffee.com/overcomingd. Okay, he's back.
All right. First question I want you to ask yourself. If you're at the end of the day, maybe you're chilling out, maybe you're having a beer, maybe you're driving home, whatever. Where did my focus go today? Remember that movie, Dude, Where's My Car? I don't know if you remember that, but where did my focus go today? Good or bad? Did I focus on the right thing? What needed to be done? What was urgent? Or did I focus on BS that will just get me nowhere? Did you do what you planned to get done? And I think just the most basic insight this can provide you is it begins to identify where your attention maybe naturally flows, what engages you, what derails your focus. You can recognize patterns that can help you adjust your environments, your routines, what have you. But that first basic question is, where did my focus go today, good or bad? It helps you uncover what you might like doing and maybe what drains your energy a little bit. And if you come up with same shit, different day, if you ask yourself this question over and over again, you're going to need to make some adjustments, right? Okay, next question. How did I feel during various tasks or projects or types of work? Did you feel like you had a pile of bricks on top of you when you were working on certain things, or did you get into some type of flow? Did it take you forever to get something done, or did you feel at ease working? These are, kind of sub questions. How did I feel during certain tasks or projects? This is going to show you what kind of activities may give you some energy or drain you, help you structure your day around your natural energy cycles. This is why I like to add the word energy to the discussion of time management. Just because you scheduled something doesn't mean you're going to get it done, right? Or just because it's on the calendar, oh my God, it's going to get done, right? You guys know that that isn't a guarantee, right? I mean, come on. So this can also help you get into some type of flow, which we've talked about, or a zone, not hyper-focus, but get into flow where you actually feel good about working on something. And maybe you're a little bit challenged and it's giving you maybe a tiny bit of motivation. So let's take, for example, writing, because this is something I've done a lot over the years as a PR and marketing person, is sometimes it just flows. And other times we can barely scratch out an email, right? Or even write 2 sentences to somebody, right? It just happens. But this shows you where, how you feel during certain types of things can maybe help you structure your day. So, and again, I know we talk about work a lot here because I think that's where a lot of us hit some brick walls or have some challenges or frustrations. But this can be working on a big project at your job or your business, or we can be talking about doing the laundry or the dishes at home, right? So, all right, our next question here. We got a couple more, so stay with me. What unexpected roadblocks did I encounter, right? What the hell got in my way today? What happened? Have you had those days? I mean, please tell me you did, that you got to the end of the day and you're like, you know what? I couldn't tell you anything I did today. I have no idea, right? Come on. You're with me. I know you are. But when you ask yourself where the unexpected roadblocks came in, now maybe they were expected, but we're going to call them unexpected for a moment. This kind of reveals those common ADHD challenges that a lot of us busy adults kind of come into play, like interruptions, technology, YouTube. Maybe that wasn't unexpected, but it could be. Maybe it's emotional overwhelm. Maybe you got stressed out about a certain project, or you had a bad conversation with somebody at work or a client, right? A roadblock can be someone stopping by your office and completely throwing you off track, and then you have trouble actually getting started again. And I know I've encountered that millions of times in my professional life. But I think when you can ask yourself where the roadblocks are, you can hopefully begin to anticipate the ones that knock you off course over and over again, and maybe manage them a little better. And the other question is, did I let these things happen? Did I let somebody come into my office and sit down and talk about the movie they saw last night or the restaurant they went out to, right? Did I let this happen? Now, I would not, this is another one of those kind of, let's pay attention real quick. I would not, however, place a family emergency, a power outage, or something like that into this category. I mean, is it unexpected? Of course. But sometimes you just can't do anything about a roadblock, right? So let's just make sure that we're separating these two. I mean, obviously we need to make up the work somewhere if we had a power outage or you had a family emergency, right? I mean, you had to go pick up the kids at school because they were sick or something like that. But we got to make sure that we separate these two and not let the ones that require our attention, such as our family and what have you, piss us off. So sure, they can piss us off, but we got to just make sure that we separate those. So, all right. Two more questions I want you to ask yourself. What helped me stay on track today? Did you kick some ass today, right? Figure out how you did it. I always say if you have a good day, find out how and duplicate that. We don't always sit there and go, oh my God, why did I have such a bad day? Sometimes, a lot of us, okay, not more than sometimes, a lot of times, we have good days. We kicked ass. We felt great. We had energy. We got things done on time. We cleaned our inbox out. Maybe we cleaned our desk or our piles or what have you. We got a client something on time, right? And we were proud of our work. What helped me stay on track today? If you kick some ass, then unpack that. That is going to identify those strategies, the tools, the conditions that support your meaningful productivity. Now, those could be an environment. It could be you got a good night's sleep. It could be more tactical things such as, the music you have in the background. Maybe you use timers or a Pomodoro, or maybe it was a certain location. Was my office super quiet? Or did I have the opportunity to work at home or at a coffee shop? Those types of things. But I think when you begin to figure out your past experiences with kicking ass and doing great work, it's going to help you build those habits around them. What worked? Do it again. And that is a massive win, okay? A massive win when you figure out how you work best. That is one question I ask many people. Do you know how you work best? And I don't think some of us can answer that. So what's one small win I can celebrate is my last question here. Now, speaking of wins, one thing that can help our moods and our motivation is that willingness to keep our head above it all and just celebrate even a small win. It could be you got to the office on time if you're always late. Now, I know this is hard sometimes when you're having a lot of challenges, but it's important to make sure that you rack up even a tiny win. That's good for our heads. That's good for our moods. Always living in the negative just weighs us down physically and mentally. So this is going to reinforce your progress. It helps you combat that tendency to not just focus on what you didn't get done. And it's actually going to build a little bit of motivation and some confidence. And we need that. We need that every day. Again, I know it's super easy to just hit the default negative button sometimes, but grab a tiny win wherever you can. All right, gang, those are 5 questions that I want to ask, that you should ask yourself on a regular basis. Maybe it's every day going home in the car. Maybe it's chilling out, like I say, having a beer at night, or go sit in a quiet room for a few minutes. But if you need to make some change and you just have said to yourself, the way I'm operating isn't working anymore, number 1, ask yourself these questions. Number 2, you can check in with me. All you need to do is go to overcomingdistractions.com. Right on the homepage, there's a red button. It says book a 15-minute call with me. We'll hop on Zoom. We'll chat for a few minutes, and we'll see if we are a good match to continue to work together one-on-one to do some problem solving. Overcomingdistractions.com. All right, everybody. Thanks again, all my distracted friends out there. Thanks for hitting the download button. And the other way you can support the podcast, if you like, is you can always, if you like what you hear, is go up and do a rating on your favorite podcast platform. So, all right, everybody, thank you again, and I will catch you next time.